What's going on, everybody? Peter Dewey with Minute Media here, and I am joined today by the player with the best shoe collection in the NBA, Los Angeles Clippers forward PJ Tucker. PJ, thank you so much for joining me today. Really excited to talk to you.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah, PJ, you have something I've been in awe of your whole career, your shoe collection, over 5,000 pairs of shoes. Seen the story that you wore 37 different pairs of shoes in an 18-game stretch earlier in your career. Can you take me through what got you into, collecting shoes and not just collecting them for show, but then also to wear them for games as well?
Yeah, I don't even consider myself a collector. I'm more of a sneaker just wear. I just love shoes, so I don't collect them. I just wear them, and it's just been something I've done my whole life. Naturally, playing basketball, I just was always into the shoes I wore playing basketball, so that kind of translated in all of this.
That's awesome. Is there a favorite pair for you to play in? Like, is there one that you go to as like your main game shoe, or do you just always switch it up?
Undoubtedly, the Kobe 4 is for sure my favorite shoe ever. Um, it checks every box. It's just the best. Look wise, comfort, grip, everything. It gives everything. So it's my favorite.
If you had to choose, so I know you have I believe you have the diamond shoe as well. The one that's like diamond across. Is that your favorite one that you have in your collection, or is there one that people wouldn't know about? Maybe that's one of your favorites.
No, honestly, my favorites are all like the stuff that I wear every day. It's so funny because every time I see like a kid at the market or like somewhere, I'm like disappointing them every time because I got on like some regular like all white Air Forces or like some white and red Air Max One big bubbles. Like it's like I wear like the most regular stuff day to day, so I'm like disappointing kids every day.
There's a lot of up and coming players. Anthony Edwards comes to mind, who's getting his own shoe, and the WNBA Sabrina Ionescu. Is there any new shoe that's come out recently that you've gotten or that you've gotten to try that you really enjoy?
So I've been wearing the Devin Bookers. I love book shoes.
Oh,
Yeah, they're so good. They're really comfortable, and they're kind of reminiscent of the Kobe 4 a little bit. They're super comfy and they have great grip, and it's a good looking shoe too. It's like a shoe you can wear on and off the court. So I've been wearing that one a lot.
nice, nice. And you're doing a partnership now with Raid. I'd love to hear a little bit about that and how that kind of came together and applies to you having your amazing shoe collection as well.
Yeah, well, Raid found out that 60% of Americans kill bugs with their shoes, and who wants to do that? Like, I don't want to waste my nice shoes on bugs and getting stuff all over them. So they came up with the app where you can go on, you can scan the shoe code, and you can save on Raid through the app. So it's pretty dope.
That's awesome. A perfect person to represent that too. I'm also very curious because I saw the story that you had done the 37 pairs of shoes in 18 games, which I thought was just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued. How many shoes do you bring to the arena for a game? Is it like two, or do you have like a bunch in your locker? What do you normally go to?
It depends. It depends. Well, if we're at home, then I got, obviously all of them there. But when we go on the road, it depends on how long the trip is. Usually, if it's a game or two, I'll take a bag that takes about probably 8 to 12 pair. But if it's a long trip and it's 5 or 6 or 7 games, then I'll take my big bag and it's like 24 pair in a big bag. So I can be able to mix it up. And then that's the bag the team takes. And I'll take my own personal bag. So usually between 24 to 36 pairs on a road trip.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool. I want to talk a little bit about basketball because you've had a terrific NBA career, have become an extremely important glue guy and defender on some really, really great teams, won a title with the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm intrigued. I don't know if you're going to want to answer this, but is there a team that you've played on that stood out as like, this is the best team, or what was special about a team that you've played on in your career?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I'll say this. Obviously, winning the championship was hard to go against. The Bucks. That was fun. But I would say my first year in Houston was my favorite season and my favorite team. We just all the guys on that team. We just meshed so well. I've never been on a team that the whole team hung out as much as we did. In our free time, we were together. It was a bunch of guys that were friends. And it was a bunch of like previous relationships with different guys. Like it just was the perfect storm. And that year was super fun. So I have to say that. I think it was 17, 18 Rockets. That was a special team.
That was a great team too. I mean, I just looking like you played that Rockets team, the Bucks team,
Yeah.
Philly,
Yeah.
and then Miami too. Even the year you were in
Um,
Miami, like
I was,
some
I was
really good
I was
teams.
fighting between the Miami team and the Houston team. Those two for me were like neck and neck.
Yeah, that's and so one of the guys you've played with several different stops, James Harden, in your career. Now you're with him still with the Clippers.
Mhm.
What have you enjoyed about playing with James and just kind of how you've seen his career develop? All the two of you have kind of been side by side for many years of it.
Yeah, we've been together a ton, and I've been able to grow with James and be able to do so many things on the court. We just mesh on the court. We kind of speak the same language and have the same understanding of the game. And when you're able to play with somebody like that and have that kind of camaraderie like this, where you can just go back and forth and know, we kind of can just look at each other and know what to do in situations. That's a blessing because that doesn't always happen, and it's not a lot of guys that you can say over, for me over 20 years that I had the same thing with. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one thing I'm curious about for you, because a lot of guys, the NBA, you kind of saw with the Olympic team where guys had to take kind of different roles or play different roles. For you, a lot of the time, your role is guarding the best player on the other team. What do you do to kind of prepare yourself for that mindset of knowing I'm going into a war because I have to guard Kevin Durant or LeBron James or whoever it is that night, and they're relying on you to try and stop the greatest scorers in the game.
Yeah, it's a lot of mental homework. It's a mind frame, it's a mindset. Being able to go out every night knowing somebody's attacking you every play. You got to know. You got to learn the plays. You got to know where they're trending, how they're playing. Is he shooting walk up threes on the left side, the right side? Is he getting downhill going to his right? Is he finishing better? Which way is he finishing better? It's a lot of little things that you try to learn before these matchups and doing these things. But in the game, it's split second decisions and having to make those kind of decisions. In the communication throughout that, it's tough. It's really hard. It's something I get up for, and it's something that keeps me going to this day. Being able to have those matchups and be that guy to do kind of the dirty work in the game.
Mm.
So I put my hat on, and that's what I love doing.
Is there a guy that a casual NBA fan or just honestly any general NBA fan wouldn't expect to be a really tough guard that you've had in your time? You're like, I can't wait to match up against this guy.
Oh, that is a really good question. Obviously, the normals you already know. Luka's those the guys that uh, are really good and everybody knows. I'm trying to think of somebody that people wouldn't think, but it was really good. I'll tell you what. I would say this. We were on the same team, but I used to love going at it with Eric, like guarding Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's such a good scorer, and he can do everything. And so in practice, I would love like testing myself with Eric because he would just destroy people, and he's so good, and people wouldn't know it. Like I mean, people know it, but
Mhm.
when you talk about like levels of players and how good guys are, Eric Gordon's definitely one of my favorites to play against and play with.
That's a cool one. That's a really cool one. Is there any young guy that's kind of come into the league over the last couple of years that you've been impressed with, or you gotten to guard and been like, wow, this guy's not a little bit better than I expected or something?
Oh yeah, that's happened a few times. The older guys, we don't really know. I don't watch a lot of college and stuff, so you don't really know when young guys come to the league how good they are and how they play. Um, I'll say who's the one I just told somebody. Oh yeah, my guy Bones Highland. Bones can really score the ball, man. He's special with the ball, and he gets you know I think people know, but he's really special. And I think once he gets opportunity, he'll be able to do some special for a team really soon.
Is there a type of player for you that you find is harder to guard? Is it like guys who are really like fast twitch, like a Tyrese Maxey that's really quick, or is it guys with size? Is there's something that is you think like I'm just intrigued and picking your brain with this because I think it's so cool. You know, the different guys you've matched up with just across the league. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's always tough with the quick guys, like a Tyrese or like a Kyrie Irving, where they can really shoot the ball and they're fast. Those guys are really tough because most times if you got like a fast guy and he doesn't shoot as good, then you kind of gap him and kind of beat him to the spot, even though he's fast. When guys can really shoot it, you got to get up on him and try to make him drive, and he's still fast and he can shoot the ball. Those guys are almost impossible to guard.
It's not an easy and never an easy night when you're being asked to do that. For you, the Clippers this offseason, you guys obviously big change. Paul George into Philly. You guys brought in some new guys. Anything about the outlook this next season that you're kind of looking forward to, excited for?
Yeah, honestly, it's my 19th year, man. I'm just excited to play basketball, man. To still be playing basketball 19 years, have a 19-year career. It's been pretty incredible, especially with the road I took to get it. Uh, I'm just super appreciative of that, being healthy and being able to play. 19 years, so for me, I'm
Mhm.
super excited for that, man, and I'm just ready to get back out there.
Yeah, you talk about your road to get there. You didn't have the most traditional path, you know, into the NBA and being an everyday rotation guy and a starter on several teams. Can you talk a little bit about that and kind of what you had to go through to kind of establish yourself as such an important player on so many great teams?
Yeah, it kind of just cultivated itself. I didn't really set out to do that. It's just one of those things that happen. I work really hard every year, getting better, physically, mentally, preparing every single season and taking seasons and really using them as stepping blocks to get better and better on my career. And it's funny because even my early days in Phoenix, or not making the playoffs for years and years in a row, to now having a consecutive playoff run of being in the playoffs and going deep a bunch of times, a bunch of years in a row. All those early years kind of prepared me for everything I go through now and being able to, stay tough and be good throughout the playoffs. So it's something that's fun, man. It's just been really fun.
After those years in Houston where you guys came so close and then obviously you ran into some of those crazy Warriors teams, but then to get the title for you in Milwaukee, can you just kind of tell me the feeling afterwards, what that meant to you to win a championship?
Man, to get over the hump, it was everything. We had so many, well, at least two where we really felt like we could have won it in Houston.
Mhm.
So Chris Paul got hurt, one of them. That first one, we felt like we really were going to win it. Things happen, and you kind of got to pick your bootstraps up and keep going and keep fighting for it, and then getting the opportunity in Milwaukee right afterwards and being able to finally do it. To get that monkey off my back was unreal, man. It was so fun. Something that you've been chasing for a long time to finally reach that mountaintop. It was everything. And the tough part about it is once you do it, all it does is make it worse because you just want to feel it. You just want to do it again and again and again every single season. So that's what you keep striving for.
Did you have a pair of shoes that you won in that game 6 of the finals? Did you like have that you've never worn again or something like that? Or something that you used to commemorate it to kind of save after that game?
I still have those shoes. I've not worn those shoes again.
That's
A year
cool.
packed up, and probably once I retire, I'll probably do something with them. But that pair of shoes is my favorite shoe of that year, and one of my favorite shoes I've worn throughout my career. So it's pretty cool to still have them.
What was it? Was it Kobe fours or was it a different one?
It's actually Kobe 6 that I
Okay.
designed. It was a part of my Yeezy colorway pack, and it was my favorite one. It still is my favorite one. Obviously, using that, wearing that shoe to win it, so it's fun.
That's awesome. I got one more question for you. This is related to the shoes again because I think it's just so cool. Have you ever had a teammate ask you to borrow shoes, or have you ever given a teammate a pair of shoes to wear, or is it that's a
Never
sacred
to
ground?
borrow, but yeah, teammates ask me for shoes every single year for sure. I got the populace. I wear 14, so a lot of NBA guys wear 14. So I get a lot of DMs, a lot of text messages about getting shoes from me for sure.
Gotcha, gotcha. PJ, thank you so much, man, for taking the time. Really excited to get to talk to you, and best of luck next season pulling for you. Year 19, man, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.